Yeah. Welcome everyone. Thanks for joining with us. Today, Rajendra Ongol is our speaker. He is a Microsoft MVP and a Microsoft certified trainer, and he is one of the key contributor in the Microsoft Fabric community. He is a super user, and he is holding 15 years of solid experience in the data and analytics field. And currently, he is working as a lead in the boss. So welcome Rajendra. So welcome Rajendra.
Yeah, thank you so much, Babu.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm starting my screen sharing.
Yeah.
Fine. First of all, I would like to thank NextGen Data Aspirant community team for giving this opportunity, both Suparna Babu and organizers. I know some members in this group, NDAC, like Krishnakant and Suparna Babu. We will get in touch in the super community in the Fabric user. Thank you for that. Thanks for giving this opportunity again. So today's topic, if you're observing efficient data management using data like Delta tables in Apache Spark, so in Microsoft Fabric. So maybe the title is very big, which I have provided, but the activities part, what kind of ways we can try to get it optimized and how we are going to read the tables, like if it is a structure, how it is going to get it read the delta tables. And first of all, what is a delta table? That part also we are going to discuss about it while doing some of the advanced capabilities in Microsoft Fabric. Fine. I'll just try to give a brief about myself, and then I will get started with the agenda and then followed up with demo as well. I'm Rajendra Ongol. I'm a Microsoft Data Platform MVP on Power BI as Microsoft Fabric. And I'm a super user at Microsoft Fabric community. And currently I'm holding the Microsoft Certified Trainer program as well. And totally 15 years completed into the industry. Started with my journey with SSIS, moved onto the Microsoft Power BI is the tool as a part of dashboard building, and currently sticking onto the Microsoft Fabric related activities in my current organization, Bosch. And I'm one of the organizer with Deleted community groups. So where we will try to share the knowledge sharing via online platforms. And recently I have started data analytic group as another kind of a group where we want to share global users with my connects and so on. So I'm also the Power BI trainer and as well as the mentor. So if you want to get in touch with me, on the right hand side, you can see my networking sites. You can get in touch with me there. Before moving on to this, so let's try to get in touch with this, what we are going to discuss for today. Let's try to understand what is the delta lake and how we are going to get started with the creating of the delta lake with a kind of a theoretical part we are going to discuss first. And then maybe if you want to follow with my parallelly, like maybe if you're already holding the Fabric trial licenses part, you can also play with that sample data set, which is already available in the Microsoft Learn portal itself. And as well as how we are going to save the tables in delta format and what are the ways we can try to share it. And maybe if you are working with the huge data sets, what are the things and features that we can try to optimize the delta tables, and what is this running vacuums and where it is getting available. We're going to discuss about it. And also I'll just try to give a touch base on Spark structure streaming, which is something like real time. So is that going to have an possibilities to get it accept with the real time streaming data source system in Microsoft while you are working on the Microsoft Fabric along with this Spark engines and so on. We are going to discuss that part also. What kind of a features and code that we can try to utilize for the Spark structure streaming. We will discuss that part as well. Maybe the touch base as per the time permits. First of all, so if you're observing here, Delta Lakes in Microsoft Fabric, Delta Lake is completely an open source storage layer where it will be get access both relational source system capabilities as well as the ACID transaction. So what is this ACID transaction? Maybe whoever not aware, atomicity, consistency, isolated, duration. So the data, right, the continuous flow of information where the transaction will be get completes on its own, and it will be get load or not, that kind of an activities we will call it as an atomicity of extractions, atomicity of transactions that we are going to build it. Consistency is something like maybe my data transaction has been completed and whether it's going to impact the other transaction or not. That kind of a consistency utilization, consistency state, we're going to provide along with it. And I stands for isolation. Maybe I'm currently one of the transaction is executing, like one of the data file is getting loaded into the files, like which is going to Parquet file format, and it is not going to interfere with the other transactional file. It's not going to maybe overlap or else get it correlate with this another transactional data. That kind of an properties, it will be get acquired in the Delta Lakes whenever if you can start working with the Microsoft Fabric. And coming to the durability, once the transaction will get completed and the data will be get stored and we can reuse it for the further related activities and so on. These kind of a capabilities and benefits we have when you are working with the Delta Lake format. And one more thing, instead of reading the theoretical part, if you are working on the Delta Lakes, it will definitely support the CRUD, create, read, update, delete kind of a statements. So we are familiar with SQL language. So I will tell you in the SQL part, like it will connect like a select statements, update it, we can delete it, and even we can try to drop the tables as well. Maybe if you can start working with the Apache Spark Delta Lake tables. So where you can see the different ways of files and storage part. And before moving on to the what is this Delta tables? Delta table is something like a folder. Once the lake house will be get created, and it will be get consists of the Parquet data files inside of the Delta tables, along with how this Parquet, what is this Parquet? Maybe if you can ask me. It's a simple term. So currently, right, currently we are using the traditional databases. How the data will be get stored? It will get stored in the form of a row by row. Like maybe the first, you can see the column headers and below the number of records by row by row. And coming to this Parquet file format, how the data will be get stored in the sense in the columnar storage area. Like maybe the column header labels, we can try to see it on the completely on the first column itself. So it will be get compressed and ways of utilization part and the performance prospect main important thing, because we will try to handle with a larger data source system, because as we are in the running data world, so the data will be get compressed and the readability format is very simple. Maybe the further slides it will be get covered very detailed. So it's as simple as easy. On the right hand side, if you're observing, so those are all the data which has been get stored in the form of a JSON files inside of this Delta logs. So you can see the underscore Delta underscore log. It will be get created a folder, and inside those are all the transactional wise the data will be get stored, which supports all the asset transactional properties and even the time travel related. Like maybe if you want to see the previous record or as a previous updated information, it will be get support with the time travel related functionalities as well. And don't hesitate, and if you have any queries, please post in the chat box. Please post in the chat box. Can you please mute? Yeah. So here, as I said, Delta Lake is a completely open storage layer. It will be get accepts both. I mean, the data will be get stored in the form of a table. If you're observing the tables and files, the lake house has been get created. Tables is something a completely structured information. So if you're observing the sales order table, I can easily identify what are the number of columns that are available, how many number of records that has been stored in that table wise. So we will call it as another term like tables as managed information, managed sources. Coming to the files, maybe if you are working with something like unstructured, semi-structured kind of a source systems, we will try to call it as an unmanaged files also. So we will try to, maybe if you're working with a kind of a JSON or CSV file source system, flat file information, we can try to pull via file source system. Even the shortcut also will be get support via extraction with the file source system. So everything, once the files will be get moved onto the tables part, you can see a small table with a small triangle option, right, icon. So the date, we will call it as a delta for that. So the files, though the information will not stored in the form of a completely table, the backend functionality in the lakehouse environment and the lakehouse user interface, the data will be get stored in the form of Parquet file format. So you're observing the data in the completely structure, but the backend functionality part, it will be get stored in the form of Parquet file format. Once maybe you can see in the properties part, maybe if the time permits, I will showcase that part as well. It's very important slide, which I just want to share it with you. So you can see on the left hand, just to focus on the image here, on the left hand side, I have added how the delta Parquet file format will be get stored. Once, maybe if it is an orders table, or maybe if there's a product table will be get stored. Delta table is just like a folder. So inside of the folder, you can see the different data Parquet file. The data will get stored in the form of a Parquet, and backend the log files as well. And so in the form of underscore delta underscore log files too. Along with the checkpoints, maybe if there is any failure of the information, the data points will be continuation. If you want to make continuation with the next line of record or else the next line of code, it will have a checkpoint files as well. So you can see the complete structure here. So delta format, it has a very detailed functionality and the features part, as I said, it will support all deletions, updates, and even we can do the merge operations along with the ACID transaction, which is to discussed about ACID, atomicity, consistency, and solution, durability transaction. Along with, as I said, time travel, these are all the activities, it will be get supported in the delta Parquet file format. So on the right hand side, once maybe if the table has been stored, how it will be looks like on the file source system. You can see backend, the underscore in the properties part, underscore delta underscore log. Inside you can see multiple subfiles like JSON files and Parquet file format, you can observe it. Even the structure of the column headers you can observe in the delta logs and so on. And the backend, you can see the file source system, so part-00. This is nothing but a Parquet file format, how the data will be get stored on each and every file source system. Maybe there is a files or in the table manage source systems part. So how we are going to create these delta tables? It's as simple as easy. If you are very good and familiar with these Spark languages, we can create the statements. You can just try to drag and drop the initial line of code. It will be get derived automatically. After that, maybe as per the transformations, as per the data ingestions, how we are trying to utilize the saving part, how we are going to save the files, whether we want to give it as a separate name or else maybe we want to save it in the form of an external file source system. Those are all depends upon the coding, how we are going to get it added to delta tables. So it's as simple as easy, and it will be get support by default Apache Spark, the language. Maybe if you are very good familiar with Spark SQL also, we can change the language and we can write the code as well by writing something like a percentage SQL, which is the magic commands. We can use it once if you can start working on the SQL related commands. Like we can try to create it, we can delete it, all the transaction, all the DML related operations, we can get it performed via this commands. I mean, beautiful commands like percentage SQLs. I just added some brief line of code like loading the file and it will be get stored. And I want a headers like column headers. I want to project it as a true and save the file and store the format in the form of a delta format file. And you can give the table name, what kind of a table information on what kind of file folder you are looking for. You can save the table information as is. So whenever if you're working on two important things that we have to keep in mind, like if you're observing, there are two types of options: managed tables and external tables. So what is this managed tables? Managed tables is going to hold and support all the Delta Lake data files and also the formatting, the backend part where the data will be get stored in the Lakehouse's environment too. The data information, it will be get stored in the managed source system. Coming to the external tables, if you're observing something like a files in underneath, there is an external product. Suppose maybe if you're working with an unstructured or semi-structured information, you have to get extract via file source systems only, file folder itself. Maybe you can create the subfolders as mentioned here, external products or product kind of a folder information. So here the main difference, suppose maybe I want to delete my complete managed information. All the functionalities will be get supported if you are working on the managed file source system. So you can the table format, all the tables will be get deleted, whatever that is available in the lakehouse as well. Okay, the data files that has been stored in the table information. Coming to the files, if you're observing the external product, only the It's just like a view. Maybe if you are familiar with the SQL part, views on the top of the table, you are going to create a views, but back and still the table is there. In such kind of a scenario, you can use external table-wise the data extraction and file creation. Backend, even though if you are using the delete statement, if you are extracting the data via external product, like from the file source system, backend, the data will be still stays, only the views will be get deleted, but we can see the information by the backend log files, delta log files and everything. But the information will not get deleted if you're using external table information. Both the operations will be performed same as is. Maybe the next slide will give you more information. What is a managed as versus external table extraction. You can see here, the both stores the data in an open delta Parquet file format. Yes, it is. It is going to store the information. And coming to the how it will work, as I mentioned, managed tables, the complete data along with the table will be get deleted. But if you're using the external tables, wise extraction, data is still retains from the backend part, but only the views will be get, maybe as per the statements, it will be get deleted. And it will be get support all the asset and 𝐂𝐟𝐿D properties, create, read, update, delete statement, and also the batch and streaming source system, meta storage streaming informations too. Performance wise, similar for both of the tables, it will be as good as, while doing the extraction and the how many number of records you are trying to import onto the both managed files or external to source systems, because it's going to handle the backend part, the Fabric Spark engines only. So backend, as per the configurations, as per the each and every session execution, how much the pools define, the storage configurations we have defined, as is, it will be get works accordingly. Okay. So you can see the amazed with the Fabric table structure, table directories, the locations part, and backend user has to be get specified in the lakehouse environment once the lakehouse has been get created. So this is the main major difference between managed tables and external table wise extraction. Whenever if you get a chance to get it extract into the lake houses, just try to choose how you are trying to extract it. What are the files once you loaded the information with the file source system where the data is getting stored, and we can also navigate to that particular delta log files as well. I will showcase to you in a few minutes. If you have any questions, please let me know. Yeah, on the slide. Are we good? Fine. So creating the notebook is as simple as easy. Once you can get started with Microsoft Fabric, I can showcase to you. So there we have to keep in mind notebooks, it will work on the cell-wise representation. And also we can have a markdown command with an M statement, M in the mark. So maybe you can write the commands, or maybe if you want to define with some naming conventions or formulas, these kind of a terminologies like header of this activity or functionality that you're working. These are all the things we can try to utilize by using M, that is markdown formatting test. You can write your own summary of activity which you are trying to perform accordingly. And also, as I said, we can save the data in the delta tables, and it will be get stored in the backend as how we are trying to load the information via managed or external source system. And here, very important thing is how this Spark engine will work and what is the backend technology that has been used. Maybe this one, the backend technology here, Microsoft Verifact is the engine. That is the technology that has been used. Vertifact engine. So maybe whoever familiar with Microsoft Power BI, we will use the Vertipack analyzer. So backend for this language also they have used Microsoft Vertiscan technology to processing the data and for scanning the information, how the data tables will be get loaded and how the builder information will be get added to the extractions and the code by code, how it has been getting executed and so on. The terminology here, Microsoft Vertiscan technology has been used for each and every cell-based execution. You can run all the cells in one go, run all the each and every notebook. We can define the cells. We can run all at a time or individually. If you want to execute it, you can also execute it individual cell-based code cell-based runtime. If you want to monitor one by one cell as well. Fine. Maybe sometimes, right? If you're working with a very larger extractions, we will face problems like small file problems. So what is the small file problems? How we are going to get overrid of this small file problem. So please keep in mind, whenever if you're working with a small file problem, the backend engines, right, has to read the record instead of individually with the help of very important command optimize write is the command that is one of the feature. It will be get added not in a individual files. I mean, my small data set. It will try to combine it as an all together as an one single block, and it will try to execute it. So we will call the feature as an optimize write for it. Optimize write. But by default, that option has been enabled while working on the properties part. And also we have a very important feature that is we will call it as an V order. Visual order whenever if you can try to execute the multiple read operations on an cell nodes. I mean, whenever you can start working on the notebooks part. And the benefits here, as I mentioned, the V-order. So V-order for reading purpose, we will use it, the number of faster execution as well as like how many cores you are utilizing, how many number of pools utilization smart, or maybe as I mentioned, right, Microsoft 𝗥𝒐𝒴 technology, the backend engine, it has to comprehensive for the performance aspects for both if you're working on the Power BI related or SQL engine statements, which you are trying to utilize on backend execution part, whenever if you are trying to run those cell nodes. This is what I just want to share it. Maybe I said last we are going to cover it. So if you're working as a real-time intelligence related source system, Microsoft Fabric Spark engine is a natively functioned and it supports Spark structured streaming with some of the important feature name called checkpoint location. The name checkpoint location. With this commands, we can try to add the streaming source system and we can start it. And those streaming data source system, we can batch all together as an input and all information will be get processed via stream. I mean, the keyword which I said, the checkpoint location. With the help of this, we can try to process larger real-time processing information as well. Maybe if there is any failure of my real-time streaming source system, we can also get it like with the help of those commands, right? Checkpoint location. We can start from wherever there is a failure on the real-time source system. We can start from the next line of command from that. That going to be initiation for the next line of execution as well. So it will be supported. It is a native support of Spark structured streaming source system via mining PySpark engines in Microsoft Fabric. So without delay, I'll just try to showcase to you some of the important demo as well. And then maybe if you have any queries, concerns related, you can stop me. Okay. So the file is already available in the Microsoft Learn portal itself. You can also maybe if you want to play around along with me, you can play with me. Yeah. Any questions up to this part? Any questions?
Rajendra, there is one question in the chat. Let me read. Spark final SQL table is called delta table.
Spark table?
Spark final SQL table is called as a delta table.
What is a delta table is something like a folder, right? So inside the folder, it's going to store there's a logs, but it is not in a Spark SQL is not going to be in a delta table. As I said, delta table itself is a folder. So inside the delta table folder, how the data is going to store, I said just now. So it's going to store in the form of a Parquet file format as per the read, as per the commands that you are trying to pass. Maybe if you are familiar with PySpark by default language, we can try to execute it. Maybe if I'm familiar with SQL, I can try to create and I can try to make use of SQL language also. Suppose multiple languages, but it is not as what you said. I hope I have answered to you.
Yeah. Thank you, Rajendra.
Fine. Maybe if we were not familiar how it will be get start, maybe if you want to get start working with me. So see here, currently I'm enabled the Fabric trial and it is valid for 60 days. And just try to connect and maybe you can try on your own by creating an on Microsoft accounts. You can create it and enable the trial accounts, Fabric trial. You can see something like this, something like this. So currently I'm using a Pro, but it's enabled with Fabric trial license enablement. Fine. Once the Fabric trial is enabled, you can start playing with this kind of, you can start directly opening the app.powerbi.com, which we are familiar, which we are regularly use as part, whoever working on the reporting side. So first we need to have a dedicated workspaces. Otherwise we cannot directly start with the Microsoft Fabric and try to create a new items and so on. But basically this is the process which we will follow on day-to-day basis. Let me showcase to you. So we know we will create a dedicated workspaces. So new workspace, giving something like Spark demo. As I said here, I'm using trial, Fabric trial, accept, apply. So that live Spark demo workspace will be get created. You can see an icon as well, Fabric content will be there. Okay, fine. Once workspace created, what next? So directly you can open the notebook. Maybe field is already developed. You can import the notebook as well. Okay, here we have an option. Maybe if you already prepared in some other tools like Anaconda, Python, and so on, you can try to import it, which will be get saved in the IPython NB notebooks. You can open it directly and you can play accordingly. Now, maybe if you want to get started with the new projects, you can just try to check it in the new items part here. So here, once you can select a new items, you can see different personas and different tools, different products that are visible to you. So try to choose your required product or required tools, which we are going to get it extract. Basically, if you are working on, I mean, if you are doing some big projects, we will get start with a lake house building. So let me showcase to how it will be. You can search it here, lake house creation, or maybe you can just try to check it here also like this. These are all different personas which I said. So from here also you can try to open the notebook. You can try to import it. Okay, you can also use the existing notebooks and so on. But let me showcase to you the traditional method, lake house. Give something like Spark LH demo, create it. Few commands as per the time I just written here. I will try to explain it and then we will execute it one by one. It will take some time. Once the lakehouse created, you can see on the left hand side, Lakehouse Explorer to store our data. Don't confuse between the lake house, data warehouse, and one lake, delta lake. These are all the naming standard is, I mean, they have added something like a pure lake, but each and every individual has their own functionalities and capabilities. It's completely different. Don't confuse there. So first we created the lake house to store our data, but backend underneath it's a bed. It's a kind of one lake will be there. It's a kind of a foundation. One lake is a foundation. On the top of it, you can create multiple lake houses and so on. This is just glimpses to you. So once the Explorer will be get created, you can see left hand side two things in the form of a folder, tables and files. Tables, if you are working with an on-premises systems, you can get directly connect with the tables like SQL Server or PostgreSQL. We can get it import via different ways by using new data pipelines or data flow gen tools, which is similar like an online Power Query editor. Maybe you can also use shortcuts from here too. This is completely a kind of managed files, which is easily understand. It's completely structured information will be get visible to you on the tables part. Suppose maybe if you're working with unstructured, semi-structured, we have to make use of files only. You can see a small folder files. So from here, we can try to get it extract. Like maybe if I'm trying to connect to a flat files, I can upload it, whether it is a single file or multiple files via folder. Or maybe I want to create multiple subfolders, means we can also create it. It's kind of inside the folder, one more subfolder. You can create it like individually, like a products, or maybe the another category table, location table. Okay, you can, if you want to get created, you can also you can also create some subtables, subfolders like this. So for our activity, products is the one, giving the folder name products. Fine. So as I said, let's try to import the product table. Maybe if you want, I can also post it here, product GitHub location file in the chat. 1 second. So I just given the link in the chat box. You can also use it. Maybe if you are playing with this, just try to right click here, save it as a file. Maybe it is in already there. Product file is there. It's going to save in the form of CSV file format. You can save it. Okay, CSV. So how we are going to import it? So it's as simple as easy. As I said, this is a subfolder, right? Product subfolder. Here, 3 dots, ellipse button is there. Just try to select it. You want to import, I want to move that file. You have to inject this particular file, which is already available in local. You can import it in this way. So here, like this. It's a file, right? Upload a file. Upload it. Product. If it is already existed, you can also overwrite it. Upload. It's take very quick. You can see here, maybe it's a simple data set. So in my real time, I work with hundreds of millions of data, not via file source system, via external file source system. Maybe my source system is on something around Amazon S3 buckets. We will try to use some shortcut extractions too, importing the source systems to like this. So maybe if you are working with an external source systems like, as I said, Amazon S3 bucket or Google Cloud Computing, you can try to get it using this extraction. Or your file is already available in OneLake, you can also import it to a source system via Microsoft OneLake as well. It's up to you as per the source, how we are going to pull the information into your lakehouse manner. Okay. This is the preview features. So it's previously it was not there. So I'm very happy for this, the preview feature as well, Azure Blob Storage preview. Because most of our source systems will be on Azure Blobs. So it's going to be preview now. So just try to refresh here, or you can see this refresh option. Just first, let's try to understand this particular canvas area. What are the important key areas that we need to keep in mind? So here, once the data table has been extracted, in the home tab, we can see only home tab. Here we can see the refresh option. And maybe if you want to get it extract some other source systems via like Dataflow Gen 2 or data pipeline, like Azure Data Factories, similar experience. We can use the data extractions via this way as well, get data. Or if you are playing with a new streaming source system, real-time intelligence source system, we can try to inject the data via new event stream warehouse also. As I said, if you want to use existing workbooks, notebooks as well, which are already created, we can also create it and import it via existing notebook by using this functionality. Fine. What about the security concern, security part? So you have, this is still a preview feature. So, but I have worked with some of the functionalities here. Read operations. We can also manage as simple as easy for whatever the source systems we are trying to extract it. I mean, the tables that we have imported. It's going to work on, it's still a preview feature, as I said, is a OneLake security part. You can see different read options, read all options. Okay, you can configure the roles and many options are there. That's what I just like the beauty here. Let me give something like a product only. I mean, security part. What are the security if you want to make use of this kind of a functionality? So let me showcase this here. Maybe if you want to add multiple users, we can also add all users, or execution part you want to give an access to the execution or resharing option. We can configure this. Just a kind of a simple click option. Previous option is something like we have to select that particular individual permissions and give an access to that. But here, this functionality, I like it. So we can have a security layer as well. So we can completely manage the tables and even the folders, even the read permissions and read write permissions as well. That has been included, but still is a preview feature which they have to check based on the user functionalities and so on. Maybe future we will expect this is going to be a general availability. So currently is the CSV file. You can see the comma separated is the default, is the delimiter, the product ID, product name, category, and the list price information. That's fine. So current activity, as we discussed, it's related to the Spark related activity. So how we are trying to move or else maybe how we are going to do some more advanced features and functionality via notebook. So here I will showcase to you some important things. It's as simple as easy to move because it's a structured information as well. You can move it simply like a load to a table. So which is going to be get visible to you on the table level, and you can see the product table as well. But our major activity and today's topic is management part and the Spark related jobs. So to get this done, what I will do in the sense, we'll try to get open a new notebook. So here, a new notebook, click on this, give the notebook name as well instead of notebook 1. And here also we need to know some of the important key areas. So they have added some new functionalities here, like example, AI tools and auto AIML functionalities. Okay, lightweight, faster, auto machine learning models also have it added on this particular window. Let me showcase you that part also here. So see here, data wrangling part has been added. Maybe if you want to cross verify how many number of validity of information, just like how we will do the Power Query editor level data quality checks. These things we can try to get it add here the data wrangling. And also they have added the setup A functionalities and new AIML runtime. You don't need to write any advanced ML code. It's an automated. Maybe I will showcase to you the last how it will be get triggered this lightweight auto machine learning model runtime. Okay, so these are the new cool features which has been added here. And currently, this is the Lakehouse which I just created, Lakehouse SH demo. You can see where tables as well as files also, files with subfolders and so on. So whenever you're trying to select the subfolder product, you can see where table information. It's as simple as easy, as I said, by default language, which has been supported with the PySpark language. So you can see on the right hand side, PySpark is a language. And maybe if you are very good and familiar with other languages like a Scala or Spark SQL, you can try to change it. You can work accordingly, the Spark SQL languages and so on. These are the different languages which will be get supported. And these languages only here we have to get it configure, not like that. So in the home tab also, you can just try to check. I mean, different languages and functionalities that has been added here on the home tab itself. So you can see the similar configurations, but by default, Spark, the backend execution runtime, parallel processing runtime, PySpark is by default language has been supported. So this is a individual cells which you are currently observing. This is the cell based in the notebook. And here, if you are observing something like an M, which is nothing but maybe if you want to write some summary or comments, the details, you can try to configure the, markdown cell as an M. And if you want to add it as a new cell, you can add as simple as easy like this, just a code. This is the here. So Copilot is by default background watermark wise it is showcasing, but you have to write the code here based on the language selection, whatever the language you have chosen on the right hand side. Fine. How we are going to get the read the product table? It's as I said, as simple as easy. So first few of the statements, I'll just try to execute it. See here, you can just try to drag and drop. You can see the read command, where the file and what is the file format. Format is CSV, and you can see the header, yes, true. And these are the location of the file. In the files folder is product, and inside the subfolder products.csv is the file. Okay, and if you want to display this particular data frame, display data frame, it's automatically written. So just try to execute it if you want to see the data, how it looks like in the form of a tabular view. And a few, just want to showcase to you before moving on to the other executions. Whenever, that is very, very important. Whenever if you are trying to create a lake house automatically, you can see the lake house has been get created. You can also see another important functionality and feature, SQL analytics endpoint as well. Maybe if you want to optimize or execute the statements via read-only operations, the particular product table, you can also write the statements, SQL statement by enabling this SQL analytics endpoint. But by default, once the lakehouse created, it will be automatically get added to your lakehouse. This is very, very important. Let me showcase to you further activities on this lakehouse front. See here, this is a current table execution. So you can see the data, product ID, product name, category, and the list price. So here, if you want to do the data wrangling and the features functionality for, to check the validation, the number of columns, and in detail representation, you can also check this data wrangling functionality. Just try. Previously, it was not there. You can try to enable it. You can see the different operations. Like maybe if you want to do some aggregations, or maybe if you want to get it replaced with some other fields or operations, we can perform these functionalities here itself. And you can add those functionalities and operations, that particular data frame operations, onto your current notebook as well. It will be get redirect automatically. So like this, after adding something, you want to add that particular code to the current notebook. Yes, if you want to add means you can add it. Maybe how many number of duplicates and so on. If you want to get it, see those information as a set, dropping the duplicates, missing information, fill details, and every information will be get visible to you on the operations prospect in the left hand side. Okay, so this is one more important functionality. So I started working on it as well. A few more executions I'll just try to showcase to you between the differences between managed tables and external tables, which we just discussed. So see here, as per the time consumption, I have written some of the commands. I will also post it, or else I will give these commands to you in the last. Another command which I want to write, maybe I want to create and save it as a managed folder, like a managed product is my folder name, save it as a table, and inside my product information has to be get visible to me. So I'll just try to copy this, add it as a new cell. And if you want to write the summary or else a comment of that particular statement, you can also write it by just clicking on this and create, store, save it as manage tables. You can write it. That particular statement wise. So see here, data frame dot write. This is the Parquet, as I said, right? Delta format. Save as a table, manage product. That is the information which I'm trying to provide. Run it. And still, if you want to see the number of, very detailed log files and so on, we can see the log files as well. You can see the automatically it's getting stored. Just try to select it. You can see the log files as well, the backend where it is as per the execution front. Okay. And you can see the information. So how can we see the managed folder? So managed product folder. So just try to refresh on the complete Lakehouse, or you can automatically write. You are writing these activities on the notebook. Backend also, the Lakehouse part also, it will be automatically get triggered on your managed here in the tables part, managed products. So just try to refresh it. You can see the managed product here. The name which I have showcased to you just now, managed underscore product. The table information will be get visible to you automatically here too. So it will take some time based on the network speed and the bandwidth. Okay, you can see how much time it has been taken to execute this small data set, 13 seconds in the bill underneath here. Okay. Fine. As I said, the logs information and so on, you can just try to select it. It's again redirect to the Spark configuration files, configuration window. And there you can try to check the DAG, okay, direct acyclic graphs and complete information. What is the read operation, how much time it has been taken, what is the longest runtime queries. These are all details will be get stored on this logs and resources. Okay. Fine. Let's try to execute few more, which is very, very important, which is set as an external table. So see here. So currently that particular product table has been stored in the table wise, and I'm calling it as a managed product is the naming convention which I have provided. So how the table will be get stored as an external product? If you're observing, this is again a similar statement, but I want to save it in the external product, which is on the file source system wise. Inside the file source file folder, I want to get it created as an external products. So that is the naming convention. So I'm just trying to copy paste. So see here, this is very, very important. So please observe. Here, this is fine. So as table is going to save it as an external tables, but this path you are observing currently the storage location. This is the by default storage. For each and every lake houses, you can see a dedicated OneLake storage system, OneLake storage file conversion. So how we are going to capture this link? Please observe here, whenever if you can create a lake house, you can navigate to the properties. Please observe, you can see here, files, properties. You can see where the file will be get stored, what is the file format, and the ABFS path. Okay, so this particular location, this is individual, this is unique. For this Spark LH demo, you have to replace this one. So it's not directly copy paste or something. You have to replace this path to store and load this table information to this location. So I'm just trying to replace it here, that particular location. Remove already files are there. Just try to copy now. This particular path we have to copy paste it. Now, if you can see here, if you can try to execute it, automatically inside the files, you can see one more additional folder, external, that particular naming convention which I have provided, external underscore product. Inside, you can see something like a logs, okay, delta log file format, and even you can see the Parquet file format and so on. Let me showcase to you that. Let me refresh it. Refresh. You can see it here. Automatic, you see this is the one. Delta logs as well as your Parquet file format. Let me navigate back to the lake house. Here also just try to observe. Okay. Close this one. Here. So as I said, inside the Delta log files, you can see the different commit and JSON file locations. And even as I said, the structure of information and so on here in the stats part, structure of that particular extraction, that product level information. This is the structure here. You can see number of records are going to hold here, and raw level, you can see the structure, the number of columns, category, list product, product ID, product name, along with the column details and so on. Okay, this is just back and how it will be get stored in the sense it's a columnar storage area. Previously in the data part, the visibility part, it is in the row by row, but once the data has been loaded and converted into the Parquet file format, it's a column wise the data will be get stored. You can see the compressed information. Okay. This is very important, how the data will be get stored on this. Fine. Here. You can observe it. Okay. Yeah, please tell me. Somebody raise their hand. Yes. Go ahead. You can unmute if you have an access.
Yes, all have access.
Okay. Somebody raise their hand. Any questions?
I think no
Fine.
questions.
Okay, fine. Hope you are getting clarity. So once, see here, currently we have created external products, managed products, same table, product table only. So the main difference here, external wise and internal, managed product wise. So maybe if we want to drop this table, complete table level details will be get dropped, but files level external product, these logs files will be get stored. And you can also see the visibility part. That is the one which we need to keep in mind. So let me showcase to you. Let me execute it. So see here how the data formatting has been get stored and so on. See here. Percentage, which is nothing but, as I said, it's a magic function. If you are, so automatically it will be get converted to an SQL Spark SQL. Previous statement, if you are observing, it's a Python PySpark engine wise. It has been executed. So this is the way managed file, and you can see very detailed information where the path and what is the location and where it has been, the property information has been held, how many number of columns or those particular details will be get visible to you on the table properties, which I have showcased to you on the stats information on individual lake houses and individual that particular Parquet file format logs wise. Let me showcase to you one more. Okay, external product. So the information, right, which I have showcased to you in by selecting that particular underscore delta underscore logs, commit, and so on. With the help of these statements also, you can look over what are the columns, what are the very detailed information in the backend, where the path, the file has been get stored. Okay, the complete information will be get visible to you on this by executing these format with these functionalities, with these particular commands and so on. You can see here. Okay, fine. Our main motto here, I have showcased to you both locations like external as well as the managed product. So what happen if you can start deleting these both of it? Okay, what happen if you can delete it? So see here, I'm just trying to drop it instead of deleting the statements. Please observe here, both of at a time. I'm dropping both the managed tables as well as external. Okay, both of it. Execute it as just now discussed. Percentage automatically. You can see the Spark SQL. It's gone. It's completed. The execution has been completed. So let's try to refresh it here itself. After that, I will navigate back to the Lakehouse to showcase to you. Can you see in the tables part? Previously, you can see the product as well as the external product information, but there is no individual folders which has been previously visible to you. It's completely gone. And even in the files part, if you're observing, other than the external folder, that is external products, delta logs, there is no file concept, product.csv or something like this. So it's gone. So metadata still resides somewhere on the fabric. Okay, but the lakehouse level, the files has been gone. There is no files or managed source system. Just try to observe here also. See here, lakehouse, please observe. Let me refresh. You are observing currently both of it. And you can see here the external folder inside the raw files and so on, right? Let me refresh. It's gone. You can see folder with the table. Nothing is there. There is no product table is there. And coming to the files, you are observing only this external product information. Okay, and this information will be get stored somewhere on the fabric warehouse, fabric environment. Okay, but not, it has to be not having any metadata. You can see the JSON file, how it has been get stored, and backend still the structure is there. You can see the information here, structure information, column information, backend still there. Category, list of priors, and so on, these details. Okay, there's a main advantage. Like what is the usage and the processing part, the data processing part. If you're extracting via file source system and the managed source systems like a tabular extractions, but the faster part, it's both are same. And the visibility part, the metadata layer will be get stored in somewhere of Lakehouse, but not in the current particular folder or else information level. Okay, maybe if you have any questions, please let me know. So as I said, you can also create the tables if you are very good and familiar with the SQL languages, as simple as easy. So I'm just trying to write with a percentage SQL, which is a magic command. Create table with the product using delta. I'm using this delta, which is a structure. And I want to create in the files external product. Okay, I'll just try to showcase to you the location as well. New code, execute it. Execute it. So see here. No errors has been detected. If there is any errors means it will be automatically get listed. And if, as I said, right, if you want to see the complete configuration files and the DAG operations, direct acyclic graph operations, you can just select this one and it will be navigate to the another web browser link and we can see the very detailed logs also. Okay, like this. Let me refresh it here. And where Lakehouse too. Few more, just few more minutes and then I will stop. If you have any queries, you can post it in the chat box. Okay, don't hesitate. Please post it in the chat box. Okay. See this. Okay. Fine. A few more commands, we'll try to execute it. I'm explaining the commands and then I'm just trying to executing these things because if you can start writing, it will take some more time of this usage. So I want to execute that particular product information, whether it is the table just to create it, right? But the data is there or not. I just want to showcase to you. So select start from, this is an SQL statement. As said, this is an magic command for SQL. If you want to execute the SQL engine level statements like a select, insert, tab, and so on, we can use this magic commands. Execute the cell. You can see the data below. And also, I'll just try to showcase to you very quick. If you want to build some kind of a charts or else a display, some kind of an, quick insights, we can also get it utilize this new chart building as well. By default, you can see in the previous, it was not this suggestible charts option. Maybe if you want to write on your own visual chart building, here we have to get it configure underneath. You can see something like build your own charts. Okay, my own charts. I can also build it. Choose the title of the chart and the x-axis, what are the fields that you want to edit, added, and these things we can get it choose from here. Okay, let me just try to showcase very quick, and maybe the list price, which is a number. Okay, it will be get listed all the things here. Okay, and position and all, we can just like we can navigate it, we can place it accordingly, and also we can export these kind of a charts in 3 different ways, like as I mentioned. Export it JPG format or PNG or SVG formats too. If you want to download these charts and share this quick analysis or chart individual insight analysis to the customer, we can also utilize this information as well. Okay. And if any queries there, Suparna Babu, any queries in the chat?
Hi, there is a one question, I think, from Mahalakshmi. She is asking about, can you please show how did we get the notebook? I think he is asking to how to create the notebook from Lakehouse.
Yes, so question to you, right? You have to get created a Lakehouse, right? Here we have an option, open a notebook. Maybe if you already created a notebook, you can use it as an existing notebook, which is already there in your workspaces. You can import it. No, you want to create a fresh or else maybe new notebook, you can create it as a new notebook from here. So these are the option after the Lakehouse creation. Otherwise, after the workspace, as a showcase to initial itself, even you can also import the notebook from here. As I said, right here, from this also you can import it. It's up to you. Got it? Fine. And last, one more very important functionality. Most of the people are saying that time travel related. So how it will be work? So I just try to showcase to you the command here, very simple. And if you want to get it, observe the historical of the product level information, like maybe some people, what is this history in the sense? Maybe assume that I have created the product table, and somebody inserted some data, and maybe on the top of it, some other has to be updated some records. Okay, there should be something like a control, right? So somebody has to be created. Maybe that has to be read the data as a 0. Okay, binary wise. Maybe somebody inserted some number of records into it, or else updated some records. So if you want to see the complete information and backtrack, simple term, in such kind of a scenario, we can use a describe history of the product. So you can see the complete stats about this product table. So you can see here the data. Please observe here. Complete information will be visible to you. Okay. Like this. Maybe currently I haven't performed multiple tasks. Okay, so you can see in the form of a table like a version, as I said, 0, 1, 2, 3. This is going to be get read, and we can see that particular information via this describe history command. Okay, this is the one which I showcased to you here, or this product table. Okay, so multiple functionalities are there, and you can showcase different ways. Okay, the data manipulations part. Once the data has been cleansed, and we can store it in the managed folder, which I showcased to you in the Lakehouse. And from there, you can take it forward for the semantic layer creation. And maybe if you want to get it optimized, that particular table, you can also get convert from the Lakehouse to the SQL Analytics endpoint, and you can optimize it, and you can build the visual level queries. Like grouping, or else maybe if you want to do some other aggregations with a limited number of columns and so on, we can perform via SQL Analytics endpoint as well. Okay, I'll just try to showcase to you as a quick note. So this notebooks, right? Previously, this functionality was not there. AI tools part, new auto ML run. This is a new functionality which has been get added, and it is in general availability. So what it is actually means, maybe if you are working with maybe if you're coming from a background of less coding and you are not aware of how the coding will be worked, but you know what is expectations, what you are expected. In such kind of a scenario, you can also use this lightweight, the naming standard, lightweight, fast auto machine learning models. You can use your data sets wherever that data will be get stored on the lake houses. You can call it. You have to define these steps. You are observing the left hand side. You have to choose the data source, choose particular table, and define ML models. Like maybe I want to perform something like a regression testing or classification, and maybe based on 3 or 4 number of columns, I want to predict some maybe for futuristic for some 5 years data. In such kind of a scenario, you can have to choose the model and set up the training. Maybe you want to train that model for with the 80% of valid data and 10 to 20% of data with trained testing data. And we can try to create it in the form of a notebook. Let me showcase you very quick, and then I will wrap up for today's session. So just now we created, this is a lake house, right? The Spark LH demo. So let's try to click on it. Select it, that particular lake house. You have to choose the table. So currently our table is a product table, right? Product is my table. You have to choose it. This is a new functionality which I just want to showcase, and then we'll wrap up for today. And the benefits here, if you are start working on this efficient Spark related engine, benefits is asset properties are there, and also you can use the CRUD properties, CRUD, like a select, update, delete statements and everything. And the data manipulation part, the backend, the Spark engines will get reader and the parallel processing. And also you can also use the concurrent engine. Maybe currently I'm using one other notebook. My colleague or team member want to use the similar notebook. In such kind of a scenario, you can change the standard configurations to the concurrent processing, the standard mode. Okay, let me showcase to you this. This is the table information. Here, you have to choose the model. As I said, regression or forecasting classification model. Let me show this regression testing. So these are the AML mode, like a quick prototype interoperability, like 1 hour time, 30 minutes time, and even the customization ML models, we can define it. So I'm using quick prototype, so which I just want to add this code to my current notebook. So based on the list price, I want to view, and these are the auto-generated data types as well as the column references. Next, see here, you want to create it as a new ML notebook, or you want to add it in the existing ML notebook. We can create it. Maybe if you want to create it as a new ML, click on next, create it. It will be get added here itself in the current Spark LH demo itself. All the codes you have to execute one by one as per your understanding. I mean, if you want to understand the each and every code, or if you want to execute all the statements, means at a time, you can also use run all the commands as well. I mean, instead of executing each and every individual cells here. These are the code which has been generated. So as I said, it is an a faster and lightweight automated machine learning model, which is again an open source, and the activities which we performed with the product table itself. So auto-generated code is there. You can also execute all the commands, all the library functions will be get added. You have to execute it one by one, or maybe if you want to cross-verify individual statements, we can do that as well. Fine. I'm done here. And if you have any questions, concerns, please let me know. Post it in the chat, and I'm ready to help you. Yeah.
Team, if you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Yeah.
Hey, hi Raj. Unmute yourself and you can speak.
Hi Raj. You can speak.
Raj, are you? If you are speaking, you are on mute.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes, Raj, you are audible.
Yes.
Yeah, Rajendra sir. Actually, I have created a Fabric trial account app.powerbi.com. So, but nowadays, earlier we got we can create lakehouse like that. So, but nowadays we are unable to create. Is there any particular reason?
Is that a pro license means no? Okay, if you are using a pro license, no, you have to be an fabric trial license so that you can start creating the lake houses and so on. Just try to cross verify what is the license you are using, which license it is.
Yeah, this is trial account only I'm talking about.
Okay.
60 days trial account only.
Okay, you are able to see the 60 days trial account also. Okay, good,
but
good.
yeah, but earlier I was unable. I was able to create lakehouse, warehouse, all the things. But nowadays, okay, contact to administrator. So like that, it is getting that.
I mean, like, is that option is enabled? Like here in the admin portal, have you cross verified?
Yeah, it was enabled.
Enabled only. Still.
Yeah, and other people also facing that. So, but I don't know. Maybe some that maybe some people are earlier I got, but
you
nowadays
can see this
I'm
one?
unable to do that. Yeah.
Okay, just you are observing something like this, a trial, which is an active here. Can you see this metric? Just to cross verify.
Yeah, I will do that.
Okay, just to cross verify. Still, maybe if you want to cross check, or else maybe if you want to try with some other account and cross verify that too. Okay, that's what my suggestion. I mean, like, because if you already enable the fabric trial account and if it is an active stage, no issues. Okay, no issues. You can start working with the lake house or else a warehouse. Even you can use the real-time analytics and so on. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Just yeah. Any other queries? Hope you like it, and if you have any queries, you can raise your hand, or else you can unmute yourself.
I think Prasad. Hey, hi Prasad.
Hi Prasad.
Hey, hello, Rajendra sir. Thanks for the
Hi.
session.
Thank you.
Basically, I have one question regarding, there are lakehouse and there are warehouse. How to choose when to go for what, right?
So it's completely depend upon the project which you are working. So if you can start directly, I mean, the data part, if you can ask me, means first you have to get start with the lakehouse creation and so on. Maybe if it is then something like completely structured information, we have it in the sense you can start with. It's completely depends upon the project to the project how we are going to choose the lakehouse. The data is going to reside such. Maybe if you want to reuse the existing data sets which is already there in the lakehouse, you can start directly creating the data warehouse and you can utilize those instead of duplication of that particular information. You can directly start with the data warehouse concepts itself. Yeah. Like that, we have to choose the functionality. Yeah.
So even in the data warehouse, there is Delta Lake only, right?
Yeah. You can have an option to extract, even if there is already a warehouse you created, lakehouse already there, you can pull that information from this, okay, from the existing lake houses to your data warehouse. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Good. Any other queries?
Hi Rajendra, this is Ajay here. So it was a wonderful session, and I have one question.
Tell me.
Can we use OneLake as a traditional database as like to store the transactional data, all those things in the OneLake?
See here, what I said, OneLake is simple term. Okay, simple. What is OneLake? OneLake is something like an unified database. So which we already familiar with Drive, right? We know the Drive, correct? We know the Drive. How the Drive level we can store our files, or else a folder we will create it, or else maybe we can try to reuse it. So similarly, a OneLake is going to be a basement. And on the top of it, you can try to see different folders. If you're observing, these are all the folders where we can try to use it. Like I have created the multiple lake houses, warehouses are there. You can try to make use of it. It's not a database. You can store the information. It's a storage container or layer. Yeah. Hope you got the idea, right?
Yeah. Thank you, Rajendra. And one more question. So there is a shortcuts, right? Amazon, GCP, and Azure in the shortcut section. So let's suppose we are data getting from the external sources, like in traditional databases using these shortcuts, right? So should we set up ETL at the data source level, like I mean external data source, or like can we able to set up here To the ETL
my
process.
suggestion is, my suggestion is you can use the external itself, and then you can perform these other. Still, if you are facing something like, like transformations part, cleansing operations, you can use the data factory or data. If you're familiar with the data flow Gen 2, you can also prefer to use data flow Gen 2. That is my suggestion. If you are extracting data via shortcut and so on. Okay.
Thank you very much, Rajendra. Yeah.
Thank you. Any other questions from anyone?
Hey, hi Rajendra. I have one question. So while performing that drop command, I observed that there is one thing. One is I saw somewhere managed. For the external, I saw external. So what is the difference between this managed and external?
We created folders, right? External folder I created, and again we have a subfolder too. So maybe the difference is something like external is something that data files are going to delete, but back in the log files are there. Delta log files will be still visible to you on the external folder. Okay, external folder, still the backend log files are there. That's going to store. Okay, then what is the managed here? Managed is something like it's going to be completely visible to you. The table information in the lakehouse, you can read it, the metadata store, which is already there in the managed folder. Suppose if you can perform an delete or else a drop operation, the complete folder will be wiped out. That means removed. So you cannot see any backup or else any log file information on the managed file. So the data, if you are using or else extracting from an external source system, logs files will be visible to you. It will be stored in somewhere of the lakehouse, but not the metadata on the top of it, metadata in the Fabric environment. That's the main difference here. Understood?
Yeah. Thank you. Got it.
Okay. Here, this is what I have performed previously here.
Yes.
Any other questions?
Yeah. Hi, Rajendra sir. I am Naveen. I am working for the Microsoft technology for the SharePoint.
Okay.
Can I learn in that Fabric?
Why not? You can choose that one. Yeah, that's fine. You're observing, right? This is one of the free session which we are doing for the community. It's as simple as easy, and we have to be more concentrate on what activities and how we are trying to get it utilize this for the project related activities. Yeah.
What are the tools to learn from previous prerequisites?
Prerequisite is something like, you said SharePoint, you have a knowledge, right?
Yes.
Basically, SharePoint. So maybe if you are good at some coding, okay, maybe if you are starting with the Microsoft Fabric, you can start accordingly, or else maybe if you want to get started with some kind of a trial or else with some sample demos, first go with the Microsoft Learn portal itself. You can explore many things there. You have an exercise and you can decide on your own, maybe I can cope up on this Microsoft Fabric or not. We can decide it on our own because there are providing a lot of exercises and labs container as well. Okay. It's easy, as you are observing, right? How I created with some sample data and so on. It's good to learn. Yeah.
I'm thinking required for the SQL and Python or Power BI.
Then yes, that's what in such scenario you need to have a little bit knowledge on coding, and then you can explore it accordingly. In Microsoft Fabric, this kind of a data manipulations, okay, cleansing operations with the different personas and so on. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
I will add something on top of this. So Naveen, here there is a two type of certifications are there. One is analytics engineer, one is data engineer. So if you want to go with analytics engineer, you can learn Power BI, Power Query, this and all, low code, no code. This will be, you can go in a low code, no code path, and it is a different thing. And if you want to go with the data engineer, then you have to learn SQL, Python, PySpark.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
I think someone raised it. Kamal, do you have any question?
Yep. Hi, Suparna.
Hey,
hi, Rajendra.
Hi. Let me put charging. Okay, 1 minute. Huh?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Yep.
Hey, Rajendra, actually, I have a query here. So while saving the table for the external, for the managed table, you just given the table name, manage,
yes.
and if we want to save it as external table, we need to give the path, right? That's the only difference.
That's the path I have provided, correct? Because it's not going to accept ABSS path, okay, ABFSS path. So you have to give the path and then store it in the external folder. And what people will do in the sense, file is already there. One more file they will try to create it. That is wrong. So make sure that you are going to have a file only, because it's going to store in the files inside the files. The subfolder is an external folder, that is external product folder. Okay, that's what the difference is.
So the difference is just if we give path, then it will become external.
Exactly. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions?
And how it is different from Unity catalog and all this external and
catalog? I mean, catalog is again a different concept, correct? Like data governance related. So it's completely different, where the environment and ecosystem will be get showcased in a Unity catalog, but not in this current notebook version, which I have showcased you directly a notebook and there, correct?
Okay. And most of the data engineering projects, which means I have some familiar friends here in this group only. So we just, implement this medallion architecture, but we haven't worked on this managed and external tables as of now. Means what is different from that? And
so most of my projects also executing with the managed tables only. So managed tables in simple term, what? I can see the complete table information in a structured way. That is something like managed tables. So assume that if you are working with an IoT related data, like a real-time data, correct? In such kind of a scenario, you don't have an option to extract the data via managed file source system, managed tables, managed folder. You have to go with an other concept like a file source system. Like maybe you have to choose a shortcut and you have to get it import, or maybe the file is in something JSON file format, you can try to get it import. So that is something like an unmanaged source system, which I'm currently showcasing to you via external folder. Okay, that is the difference actually. But projects it's completely depends upon the project to the project. Okay, maybe assume that you are going to work with a completely unstructured source system. Definitely you have to get it extract with a unmanaged source system only, not a managed source system. Okay.
Got it. Thank you.
Any other queries?
I think we don't have any questions in chat also.
Okay, nice.
I think we are good to close. So thank you, team. Thanks for joining with us. So if you want to get in touch with Rajendra, we already shared his LinkedIn profile in the chat box. You can follow him, and he is a key super user in the Fabric community. If you have any questions, you feel free to post it related to Power BI Fabric, and we can answer all of your questions there. So thank you, Rajendra. Thanks for this.
Thank you so much, Suparna. Thank you, Suparna Babu. Thank you so much. Thanks all.
Thank you, Rajendra. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rajendra. Thank you, Suparna.
Thank you.
Hello, hi sir, I am Win. Can you please share me, Supendra, your contact details?